How come you be kissing me in challenges? Like,
Why not? What, is that bad?
you be treating me real special.
Do I?
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
What?
I'm Whitney.
It's Whitney, bitch.
I really wasn't feeling Zachariah from the moment he came in and depicted his top three. I really wasn't feeling him because I thought he came in with a game plan, and I was thinking that he was very calculated. And the way he behaved around Catherine, I didn't like. And then suddenly seeing him with Whitney, he's a new man. He's a born again man. Oh my God, Whitney about to make me like this man. I don't like this man. Whitney, don't do this to me. Oh my God, I'm about to start shipping them. The fact that he was maintaining eye contact with Whitney, the fact that he seemed very shy when he was talking to Whitney. I have hope for my girl because I want Whitney to stay in the villa, and I have hope that Zachariah is going to couple up with her. But hey, it is what it is. Hey there, it's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Season 10, Episode 24. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, a comment, and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. I'm heartbroken for Whitney, really. I am. I wish the producers would stop building someone up so that they can tear them down. They built Maddie and Whitney up to be this amazing couple, and then suddenly threw a lighter into a box of fireworks, and it exploded all over. And then people sort of had this bad taste for Maddie and eventually voted him out, which I don't think was the best decision in my opinion. I think Whitney could have won the show with Mehdi. I know there was the communication issue, but they're not the only couple to have had drama, and I think they could have got over that, and they were getting over that, and sadly they were not given an opportunity to sort of show, the transformation of their relationship. You could see Whitney was heartbroken. I think they're always asked to stand by the doors. She couldn't even look at Mehdi walk away. And so for the girls to take her and sort of try and comfort her, and then I think just letting her know that you don't have to be strong. You can show that, your heart is breaking, and cry. If you have something you want to let go, you need to let it go. And oh my God, I cried with her because it was really sad. I hate to see people crying. And for Mitch to acknowledge that those tears were not just because Mary had left, and that it could have been, you know, all that she's been through on this journey up until Maddie leaving is the reason why she was crying. And I think they actually, Maddie and Whitney had a great connection, and it was actually genuine because of what Zach said. Because Zach said, oh my God, this thing, you can actually tell that it is very real, and it was very real for some people. Meaning that some of the couples in the villa are just couples just because they want to be on the show. And then there are couples that actually create a genuine connection. And I think Whitney and Maddie were one of those. Yes, we weren't shown their good times. Once they reached a certain point, the producers just decided to show us the negative and negative and negative. And the last positive they showed us was just before they kicked Mehdi out of the villa, which didn't make sense. And then Sammy, I think liked Mal. But Sammy also wants to stay in the villa. So I don't know which is stronger, his desire to stay in the villa or his like for Mal. Because immediately he pulls just to say, I did have a conversation with you before Mal was booted out, and I said to you the door was open. So when I eventually talk to you, I don't want you to think it's just because of Mal going home. I want you to know that the door is always open, and I cannot sort of juggle two people at the same time. This is why I was mainly putting all my energy into Mal. And it's like, nah, that's not what happened. You said she just wasn't your type. You said she was punching. You said, you had to sort of contort yourself into this person that would eventually find Jess attractive. So please stop it. Stop making it seem like you've been thinking about Jess all this time. You're thinking about Jess because she's your ticket to stay in the villa. You're not thinking about Jess because you've got feelings for her. I don't get that. And then the guys, I remember when Mehdi was packing up, he did ask the guys to say, can you make sure you look after Whitney? So the guys with Ty sort of having a conversation with Whitney while she was brushing her teeth, and she was sort of saying, I am the last, I'm on my own. And he said, no, don't say you're on your own. Otherwise you're going to make me cry. And that was so moving and so touching. You can see that the guys really like Whitney and they really feel for her. I think because they know the relationship she had with Mehdi, its ups and downs, the good and the bad. And so I think they understand it more than we, the viewers, who only saw a couple of minutes. Anyway, all the islanders get ready for bed. Obviously, when asked by Ella if she's happy that, uh, Mal has gone home, Jess just smiles, and I think that's a sign to say she's happy. Now she has Sammy all to herself until a bombshell comes in. Oh, when they turn on the lights and they're sort of showing who's sleeping where, Whitney, you can see she's sleeping, and in Maddie's position, she's put a pile of pillows. It's so sweet. And then in the morning, everybody wakes up and goes for debriefing. Scott is happy with his coupling with Catherine. He thinks things are going great. I think things are going great for him and Catherine. I am worried that now that Mehdi and Whitney have been split, who is going to be the toxic couple? I have a feeling that the producers are most likely going to either move on to Catherine and Scott, or they're going to look for another couple that's currently smooth sailing and go after them, because this has been their theme. Um, Zach is happy because he says Katie kissed him in bed, so that's good for him. Katie thinks things are going great. She didn't tell the girls though that she kissed Zach, so I don't know why she didn't reveal that. Jess is happy. She's going to try and continue to pursue things with Sammy. I think I wish somebody had pulled Jess aside and just told Jess the truth. That's just my opinion. That I wish somebody had pulled Jess aside and told her the truth. That Sam is not feeling you. He's been saying some of the worst things about you. Maybe you're worth sticking to Mitch until you get to Casa Amor, and hopefully you'll find someone. Otherwise, Sam is not it for you. But then no one is saying anything. And then Whitney, the girls are just comforting her and asking her, to sort of make moves. Because it's a new day, she needs to put herself first. She needs to try and have conversations with people while she's waiting for a bombshell to come in. She can't just sit there and just wait for a bombshell to come in. And she sort of, Whitney mentions that she's worried that, like Montel seems to be very close with Leah. And Jess and Catherine sort of say to her, yes, they're close, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't talk to him. You can't pull him for chats. You can't be polite. You have to put yourself first. And it's nice to see the girls looking out for her. And she says, the only other person she could see herself talking to is Zach. I think just because Ty is already in a coupling, Sammy, Jess is going after, Scott is with Catherine, and so it's between Mitch and Zach, and I think Zach is the only one she would feel comfortable chatting with. The girls encourage her to speak to Montel. So after debriefing, Jess has a conversation with Sammy, the same old, same old. Oh, I really was thinking about you. I really enjoyed flirting with you. It's like, Sammy, please, can we get movie night? Because this is not what he was saying just before he coupled with Mel. And the idea that he's been waiting to act on his connection with Jess because he was in a coupling with Mal doesn't make sense. It's just him pulling it out of his where, so that he can impress Jess. I don't know why Jess can't see through that, or maybe Jess is desperate. She needs to be in a couple with someone, so she's going to go with Scott. I don't know why she doesn't just stay with Sam, as I've said. Whitney then decides to pull Montel for a chat. I personally don't get what Montel doesn't like or doesn't see attractive about Whitney, because you could tell from the moment she pulled him for a chat. He just told Leah, "I'll be back in a second," and then he went and he was so not interested, so dismissive in his conversation, because Whitney was trying to hint that she's a slow burner. She's looking for someone who's a slow burner as well, sort of trying to gauge whether he was interested in her. And the boys, Ty, Sammy, and Zach are crazy. They were instigating. They're busy saying to Leah, that conversation has been going on for too long. They're very flirty. They're this, that. And I like the fact that Leah didn't go and impose herself there. She just stayed where she was, even though the boys were trying to sort of poke her to get a reaction from her. She didn't give them what they wanted. And so she left Montel and Whitney to have a conversation. I don't see it. I really wish Montel could see a romantic coupling with Whitney, because I think Whitney would give him a personality that he doesn't have at the moment. Because at the moment he's just in the background. He's not doing anything outside of just chatting with Leah. I don't know whether he thinks his long-term plan would be to stay with Leah, that way he can stay in the villa, or whether he's with Leah because he really likes her. I don't get it. I think Whitney would give him personality, and Whitney would make him more likable to the viewers. But hey, it is what it is. After their chat, obviously Leah then grabs Montel for a chat to find out what happened, because she, I think, became insecure because of what the boys were saying. And Montel sort of tells Leah that, I've tried my best to make it known that I'm really not interested in a romantic relationship with Whitney. I see her more as a friend. I wish she had come out and said this to Whitney, so that Whitney knows and she doesn't waste her time. And so he's reassuring Leah. He's telling Leah that he's not interested in Whitney. All his attention is on Leah, and it's like, this is Love Island. The viewers could vote Leah home tomorrow, and then you'd be left in the same situation as Sammy, now begging Whitney to be in a couple with you. But hey, it is what it is. Then the girls, Jess and Catherine, are still pushing Whitney to say, you need to continue to pursue Montel. And it's like, no, I don't want that for her. I don't want it to appear as though she's desperate, because she'll come across as desperate, and the show will highlight her as desperate because she keeps pursuing Montel, and then it will turn her away from the viewers. I want her to just stay there and just wait for whoever's going to come her way. They're going to come. If no one comes, that's it. She'll be fine. They then just receives a text message to say that it will be a couple's dinner, and Whitney and Sammy, because they're single, will be the one doing the cooking. I think it's a good thing Whitney's there, so Whitney most probably will make the food. She said she just needs, Sammy to do the washing up, which I get, because Sammy was asking who wants salmonella, because I don't think he can cook to save his life. Ty has owned up already several times to say he can cook, so hey, we'll see what happens. The islanders then get ready for their dinner. How, seriously, how do you not, how, I don't even know what to say, what I'm trying to say. How is it that Sammy can't cook pasta? Seriously, everyone should be able to cook pasta. Water, oil, salt, that's it. And he couldn't sit, and he was standing over the, oh my God, I don't even know what to say. So eventually he makes what they eventually describe as pasta mash. The bolognese looked amazing. I think Whitney did amazing. So everyone comes out, they sit down, and they sort of trying to have whatever little bit they can have on their plates from whatever it is that they've been served. And Zach and Katie, they're sort of chatting, and Zach is saying this is his first date with a different girl every time, and so he's impressed, because when the bombshells came in, they did take him on a date. He went on a date with Molly, and I think he also took some girls on a date, or he took a girl on a date when he first came in. He went on a date with Catherine. So he's just flirting with Katie. It's very tense between the two of them. I don't think they made a great pair. I think Katie's too dry. I don't even know why she's come back on the show. Maybe they should have stopped bringing in all new islanders into the show, because they don't really bring anything to the show. But hey, it is what it is. Montel is reassuring Leah that he's only focused on her. He only wants to get to know her. He doesn't want to get to know anybody else. And it's like, this is Love Island. Leah could be gone tomorrow, and just that. If you put your eggs in one basket, you and your basket will be going home. You need to be careful. Ty is for the streets. Ty cracks me up. He's for the streets. He said he's closed off, but then he's having this conversation with Ellen, asking her that, he is a bit concerned that what if they bring in a bombshell that she likes? Will she look at him? Will she? And it's like, we're both closed off. Why should you worry about a bombshell coming in? If we're closed off, it means that no matter who walks through the door, or no matter who's in the villa, we're not interested. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I can see his head turning. In Casabo, he's going to go wild. He's going to go wild. I'm going to repeat that. And then Sammy's having a conversation with Whitney, and Whitney's saying, she really hasn't spoken to Zach. I think she hasn't spoken to Zach because of the way he treated Catherine. And I think because Catherine has given her a green light, she's decided that she wants to sort of see if there's anything to pursue with Zach. Zach seems interested in Whitney. The way he behaved after she did her dance, the way he was staring, and he was staring her down. And then when he came out dancing, he actually gave her a kiss. So I think he is interested. Even when Whitney confronted him about the case after the heart rate challenge, he couldn't own up as to why he decided to kiss Whitney. I think he fancied Whitney from the dance. He saw a different side of her that he hadn't seen, and so he fancied that. And I think he's looking for a way of how does he navigate that into sort of turning it into a chat or expressing his interest in Whitney. So it will be amazing to see if they couple up. But Zachariah, I am watching him with my left eye. It's really sad that we really didn't see much of Scott and Catherine, and I don't know whether the producers are keeping them back so that they can turn them into the toxic couple next week. But the thing is, Catherine and Scott are very mellow, so I don't think they'll get any drama from them. It was nice to see them having a conversation. Scott is gone. Scott is smitten. He is been swept in the current that is Catherine, and he will never leave there. She will have to untangle him from his life raft because he really seems, he's got googly eyes when he's looking at her, when she's talking to him. He's all giddy and he's all smitten, and it's cute to see. And I hope, it stays like that even in Casamo. I hope he remains loyal to Catherine. She deserves that after what she went through with Zachariah. And then Whitney had been having a conversation with Sammy, saying she hadn't spoken to Zach. I remember in the morning she even told the girls during debriefing that she hadn't spoken to Zachariah and she would be keen to speak to Zachariah. So her shouting his name across the villa and sort of him sort of turning and immediately going to have a conversation with her. I think when he initially went, I think Zachariah, Whitney was not on his radar when she came in, and I think she wasn't the type of woman that he would have found attractive, and so he really didn't pay her attention. But I think when she kissed him in the football challenge, I think that sort of made him question, and then her dance with the heart rate dance, and the fact that he went and he kissed her out of all the girls. I think this is where things turned for him, and he started to sort of see her in a romantic setting, because during his conversation he was maintaining eye contact with Whitney. He never did with Catherine. He was very shy, he was very giddy, and he said he loved the chat, and he was looking forward to more chats with her. And she said to him, "You have to pull me. I'm not going to, be calling you every time to sit down and have a conversation." Do I see them having a relationship long term? They could. They could, but I think Whitney is good for Zachariah because Zachariah has no personality. So Whitney is good for him because she will make him likable to the viewers like myself who had been turned off by him, by his behavior and his attitude towards Catherine. So I think Whitney will be good for him. I hope he really takes note, because I don't think Katie is feeling him. Katie needs to go home. I don't think Katie is feeling Zach. So I think Whitney is the best thing to happen to Zachariah, and I think she'll bring out a side of him that the viewers might not have seen. I think she'll bring out his light-hearted side, she'll bring out his bubbly side, and she'll give him sort of a personality and a bit of swag. So I hope he takes note and he couples up with Whitney, and I think they could be a good couple. I think they could give Catherine and Scott a run for their money. So we'll see how that plays out. It was a great episode. I like the fact that we got to see Whitney sort of go through her emotions of grieving, Maddie leaving, and sort of the girls trying to pick her up and her trying to pick herself up. And so we'll see how that goes with Zachariah. I hope something comes out of it, because I don't think she's likely to have a connection with anyone else, and I don't want to leave my hope on Casamo, because at times they bring some of the worst guys. So hopefully she creates something with Zachariah and Zachariah takes note. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Bye everyone.